Good evening, everybody, and on the eve of this hellacious night. What is going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man, 1993, and we are live for my WWE 2020 Hell in a Cell predictions. Well, preview and predictions. I was focusing on not trying to get the hiccups again from saying Hell in a Cell like I did a couple weeks ago on one of my live reviews. So, again, I've just was very occupied this afternoon, and of course I decided to get these graphics together and caught up on some turn alerts. Make sure to check those out, all from NXT this past week, of course. But we're here to break down the five matches. Well, it's five matches that we currently have scheduled to take place on tomorrow's night's pay-per-view. Even though tomorrow's going to be in 51 minutes currently. So what are my thoughts going into this pay-per-view? Well, obviously it's been a, tough time recently for the WWE, of course, with, the pandemic and everything. The Thunderdome's fine. I know a lot of people are starting to really just, get a little bored with it. Again, there's only so much we can do right now. Maybe we may bring back some fans soon with just, a percentage of capacity. Who knows? But, as far as this pay-per-view goes, this show has two Match of the Year candidates, I believe, on this card. One match that I believe is going to be pretty good. The other two, But, like last year's Hell in a Cell, they don't have too many matches advertised for this card. Only 5 are made official the night before the pay-per-view. Last year they had 4, and they threw in 4 more for filler, basically, which I found unacceptable by WWE. And of course, last year's Hell in a Cell ended up being my worst pay-per-view of the year, mostly in part to the finish of the main event last year. Here's the first thing WWE has to do, again, for the 3rd year in a row: don't fuck up Hell in a Cell. 2 years ago, we had Brock Lesnar break inside Hell in a Cell to beat down on both Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman and ruin that match. It wasn't really much of a match to begin with anyways. But first off, it went to a no contest, even though I've seen both Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns get beat down to much worse beatdowns than what they got at Hell in a Cell. So then in Hell in a Cell, we go to no contest. And then last year, Seth Rollins took it too far, using a sledgehammer on top of a toolbox and ladders and whatnot. And it led to a DQ. No, I'm sorry, no. WWE does not want you to think it was a DQ. They want you to think that it was match stoppage. Again, you can go match stoppage my ass. Anyways. And of course, the following month, they do a Falls Count Anywhere match where the match cannot be stopped for any reason. So, what was that supposed to do? Discipline the ref who decided to stop the match again? It was stupid, and it obviously has ruined the whole point of the Hell in a Cell match. That you're literally going through hell! Inside. You're gonna go take things too far and just go nuts over it. So how am I not gonna believe that WWE is not gonna screw us over again with it this year? Who knows? They could end Sasha and Bayley in a no contest, or a double, I don't know, just some type of no contest if they would beat the crap out of each other inside hell. Who the heck knows? I don't know that. Some way WWE will probably screw it up again, but I'm not going to count on that. I'm going to stay positive. Because, again, like I said, despite there being only 5 matches on this card, the thing about it is 3 of them are Hell in a Cell matches. This is, I think, the second time. I know for sure in 2016 there was 3. I thought somewhere it said 2009 also had 3 Hell in a Cell matches. Let me look it up for a second. I thought I saw somewhere recently I know we had Punk and Taker, Cena and Orton, and was that Legacy versus DX in Hell in a Cell? Let me see here. Matches from Hell in a Cell 2009. Let me see here. Where is Wikipedia? There we go. Just to see the results. Let me see here. Results. Come on. Let me see here. Undertaker and CM Punk inside Hell in a Cell. I know that wasn't too good. Orton and Cena. And yeah, DX and Legacy. Okay, yeah, so there was 3 that year. So this is only the 3rd time that they're doing 3 Hell in a Cell matches in one pay-per-view. Now, I know myself and a lot of us have expressed the fact that they named a pay-per-view Hell in a Cell is just ridiculous. Again, does not mean that it's October, so it has to be Hell in a Cell time. That does not always have to be the case. Again, the feuds should be built for Hell in a Cell. And I'd say 2 of the 3 of them, I think, are. With one of them, of course, raising the stakes. The other one, acceptable for Hell in a Cell, but still doesn't really, breathe Hell in a Cell or anything like that. So as far as the Hell in a Cell matches goes, I believe those will deliver. As long as they don't try find some other way to just screw it up again like they did last year and the year before. Oh, God, because, again, it just has to build back trust. So as far as a show overall, I think it could be at least solid. Because of, well, maybe even better than solid, because, again, of 2 matches I think, if done right, are going to be Match of the Year candidates. With the other one being good, the others are going to be, it is what it is. Could they add any more matches? Well, we're probably just going to have a pre-show match. I'd say maybe, they may do the Street Profits and Ziggler and Roode on the pre-show or something like that. I don't know. They've kind of been teasing it. They had that stupid DQ finish last week on SmackDown. I do kind of wish, though, they did save Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy, though, for Hell in a Cell. I want to see that on pay-per-view. Could replace that with Jeff Hardy and Elias, to be honest, but who knows? They may try to throw one more in. I don't know. But again, having just 5 matches, 3 of them being Hell in a Cell matches that need the time and everything, fine by me. Why not? So, unlike last year when I found it unacceptable that WWE had only built to 4 matches on the card last year, which I believe those 4 announced matches were the 2 Hell in a Cell matches, Rollins and Wyatt, Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, and Brian Reigns versus Harper and Rowan. Yeah, remember them? Well, Harper's now Brody Lee in AEW, the TNT champion. No, I'm sorry, former TNT champion now, I'm sorry. And then we have Bayley and Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So that card to me, just 2 of those matches there, Hell in a Cell, good. The 3rd one, yes. 4th one, meh. But other than that, it was unacceptable. Like, half the show was just filler. These matches, I feel like, could fill up a solid 2.5 hour pay-per-view. And that's all it needs to be. So, if they add one more match in, fine. But they don't really have to if they don't want to. But at least there's going to be a pre-show match. Just don't know what that is going to be. Probably announce it tomorrow. But anyways, so before we move on to the actual predictions, let's check the live chat before we get started. We got a lot of people on this. Let me see here. What's up, TN Couponer? Thank you for joining me live. He's looking forward to Reigns and Uso. I quit Hell in a Cell. We'll talk about that match. What's up, JR? So, do they have any other matches announced for the pay-per-view? Nothing new as far as I know. The U.S. title was on the line when I read up on Twitter and said that the United States title was on the line. It is. I didn't hear about that at all. What's up, Robbie? He said, what's up? Too damn bad. WWE never brought back Halloween Havoc much sooner before NXT did this year. which I will be watching that on Wednesday night to see how it goes. What if they make for Hell in a Cell matches because what if the United States title? I don't know what they do for the US title at this point, to be honest. Do you think Jimmy will turn on Jay? I don't think Jimmy's going to turn on Jay, but I am going to make a prediction, of course, as well, as I probably talk about my SmackDown review briefly. Don't quote me or send this to Vince, but imagine if Lacey Evans comes out during Sasha and Bayley and did her walk down the ramp and the match ends due to outside No! That would make them look even dumber than match stoppage. That would be even more dumb, for sure. Yeah, don't give me any ideas. Robbie, you're a genius. That's why we like you, but not that idea. I'm sorry, not that. What's up, Tina Couponer and Lauren? They gave away Raw vs. Murphy last night just so how Aaliyah Mysterio could attend to Murphy. Stupid! Yes, indeed. It is still stupid. It is so stupid. And again, I continue to say this. I'm sorry, but Aaliyah Mysterio is just not playing the role on Twitter. I mean, on Instagram at all either, which kind of bothers me and shows to me that, she's not really committed to the role either. But once again, I just still think it's weird that she's, falling in love for Buddy Murphy, and I don't understand why! It was, again, 2 weeks after she freaking beat him down with a kendo stick. Who knows? Let me see here. Everybody's saying hello. Yes, let me see here. What else we got here? Everybody's saying hello there. Yes, Mysterio and Rollins needs to stop feuding. I agree. Everybody's talking there. Daniel Garza versus Mike Ruggiero in a Pittsburgh Pens jersey on a pole, Hell in a Cell match. Oh gosh. Well, I mean, true fact here, Robbie. Since Dan now lives in Akron, Ohio, he actually became a football fan and a fan of the Cleveland Browns. So he texted me again. I am not a football fan at all, of course, so I don't really care. But he texted me a photo one time of him wearing a Browns jersey, and he says he's turned heels. So maybe for not staying dedicated to our Pittsburgh sports, well, just kidding. He still is dedicated to the Penguins, but maybe that should be put the Penguins jersey on the line or whatnot, or who knows, I don't know. But yes, Robbie will do a fantasy booking video on myself and Dan in a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey on a pole, Hell in a Cell match. It would be awesome. I'd be shocked if the Mysterios will turn heel. It's not happening. That's not happening at all. I don't see it. Sasha Banks gets thrown off the top of the cell. Will she take the dive because Bayley's too pretty to take that dive? Maybe. Who knows? They might do some type of crazy shenanigans. I think the Sasha Bayley match, Sasha will get injured and come back for revenge at Mania. Who knows? Who knows? Aaliyah, Wednesday Addams, Mysterio. Yes, that. Aaliyah's distraction, Rod for creative writing. What if the Fiend gets involved? What if the lights go out and the feud is in Hell in a Cell? And the Man with Claw, Drew McIntyre. And I can maybe see that happening. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about that. I think that is a possibility, but I still think it may be too... Is it too soon? I don't know. We'll get to that. There's only 4 matches again. There's 5, Tyler. Because remember last year they had Brock versus Ray, and they were on the same brand. Yes, that is true. Glad you liked that Looney Tunes photo I sent you of Maverick and Killian Dane. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. Again, I'm sorry. I've tried to ease back on it, but I still don't like that tag team right now. Robbie, make a Mania card. What if they had a fight like fire shooting out of the Hell in a Cell, the same match that Kane and Bray Wyatt had in Inferno match? Honestly, that would be neat to try. Of course, we get that back in the TV 14 era. AEW may do that, but I don't see WWE pulling the trigger on that. But that would be actually be a cool idea. I think so. You should show that photo on stream. Oh well, yeah, I have to download it though and add it here. I'll do it remember tomorrow, but I had to download it and actually add it into the OBS now. If this was Google Hangouts, of course, it's much easier to share screen. but OBS is different, although it's allowed me to have these cooler graphics and such. Sweet. Alright, so let's get rolling. Let's open up and talk about these 5 matches for Hell in a Cell. Like I said, if they just give them the time and stick with the 5 matches, I'm fine. Because it actually feels like they could have a show out of these 5 matches. Well, again, 2 of them, the Hell in a Cell matches I'm looking forward to. One I'm finding acceptable, the other 2 I'm dying to see, and then the 2 non-Hell in a Cell matches. But let's get into it and talk about this. If they do have what I'm predicting for the pre-show match, probably in the SmackDown Tag Title match, between New Day. I'm too used to calling them on SmackDown now. They're on Raw now. But the Street Profits taking on Rude and Ziggler for the SmackDown Tag Titles. If they do that match, the Street Profits are going to retain. But to open up the show for the first time since, actually, no. I was going to say since No Mercy 2016, but that's a lie. For the first time since, I believe, Royal Rumble 2019, when it was that handicap match with AJ Styles versus the team of Cammy, as AJ kept calling them, which I thought was so stupid. But for the first time since then, I'm going to predict we're going to open with the WWE Championship match inside Hell in a Cell between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. This will be the 8th time, I believe, that Randy Orton will be stepping inside Hell in a Cell in his career. And this will be the first time for Drew McIntyre. So, this, to me, again, as I've said for the past few weeks, has this been an awful feud? No. Have their matches been good? Absolutely. SummerSlam, excellent match. Ambulance match, I thought wasn't quite as good as the SummerSlam match. But, with the involvement, the storytelling, I give it props for that. But my thing is, again, is this feud's just dragged. It's just starting to drag. And the fact that, again, because McIntyre won the first 2 matches, and especially how, the second match went about with basically the legends, well, except for Edge currently, getting their comeuppance on Randy Orton. I thought, and especially how, McIntyre even won that ambulance match with a punt kick of his own. That's at the end of the feud. It felt like the end of the feud to me. So, and again, I get it. Orton's, a legend. 13-time champion. But, my thing is he's going to use that excuse every time to, get a championship opportunity. I'm just saying. So obviously, him attacking the legends and pissing off Drew McIntyre again has led to this Hell in a Cell match. And to give Drew McIntyre a shot inside Hell in a Cell, fine. And again, him and Orton, work decently good together. But again, I just think this feud just dragged on way too long. If Orton would have won the title at Clash of Champions, or even, back at SummerSlam, I'd totally be okay with them doing a 3rd match. But the fact that McIntyre's already won twice, I'm just like, why are we doing a 3rd match? And honestly, again, back at SummerSlam, I will not deny I was picking Orton to win the championship. Because I thought that, they had to strike while the iron was hot on Randy Orton with this heel character of him, taking out the legends and, what he's done as a heel since he turned on Edge back at the night after Royal Rumble this year. Here's my only problem, though. Here's the reason why I don't want them to put the title on Randy Orton. Because if they do, I'm pretty sure at WrestleMania 37, it's going to be Randy Orton versus Edge for the WWE Championship. And the thing is again, I think they should have one more match. I heard rumors they were supposed to have an I Quit match at SummerSlam before Edge got injured. But the thing is once again, it's a feud that does not need the championship. That's not the case. The feud does not need the championship. Edge does not have to get the title put back on him right now. No, again, Edge is back to finish his career on his own terms and have those dream matches we wanted to see against guys like, McIntyre, or Seth Rollins, or AJ Styles, or Roman Reigns, or even Aleister Black, but who knows, they might not be booking him good anymore. He hasn't even been seen on SmackDown since he got drafted over. But but yeah. So because of that, I'm picking McIntyre. I think McIntyre will retain the championship. Again, I'd like to see him feud with AJ Styles. Here's the thing, if they do decide, because my thing is, I think, his next feud I think will either be with AJ Styles or The Fiend. Obviously, with The Fiend kind of coming in aggressive, moving over to Raw, there is a chance, I think it was JR who made the prediction of maybe, The Fiend, appears inside Hell in a Cell after the match and goes after Drew McIntyre. If that's the case, and of course, McIntyre doesn't go into WrestleMania, 37 as champion, I'd say then just save Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles just one-on-one at WrestleMania next year, just to give McIntyre, a WrestleMania match, I think. If of course, again, like I said, he doesn't, he drops the title to The Fiend. I'm now starting to think it's going to be The Fiend that Drew McIntyre drops the championship to. Which would be a good thing for The Fiend also, because he's far away from Roman Reigns. There's no excuse to not give him that long title reign he should have had over on SmackDown. So because of that, I'm going to say that Drew McIntyre retains the title. And like I said, going forward, I think he's going to feud the Fiend next or AJ Styles. But again, if he feuds with The Fiend, hold off on Drew and AJ then until WrestleMania to give Drew McIntyre a WrestleMania match. Because either way, he definitely deserves it. Especially if WrestleMania is allowed to be in front of a live crowd, maybe not, as full of an audience. We can at least have AJ get a WrestleMania moment in front of a live audience. Even though last year should have been the coronation of that because of the freaking story told in the 24 documentary. If you guys have not seen the 24 documentary on AJ Styles, go watch it, I would say. But, yeah, I'm going to predict not AJ Styles. Drew McIntyre retaining the WWE Championship against Mr. Randall Keith Orton at Hell in a Cell. And it should still be a good match. I'm expecting still a good match between these two. Like I said, it's just, this feud's kind of dragged on for me, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm ready to move on. So, yeah, I got Drew McIntyre over Randy Orton. Let's talk about the next match. The second match, one I think is going to happen, is Otis versus The Miz, with the Money in the Bank contract on the line. Now, let me just start off by saying this. This has been a terrible storyline. But the thing is this actually could have worked. I do like the idea of having the Money in the Bank contract on the line, besides that Money in the Bank, and having it between a Raw and a SmackDown superstar. I know some people have not been happy with how, they're kind of like, doing Raw and SmackDown feuds right now and whatnot. Of course, yes, they've been kind of bending the rules on the brand invitational recently, and yes, it's taking me off. But I don't think it's not like it's as bad and out of control as the wild card rule. But still kind of pushing it a little bit. But the fact, again, that they have the Money in the Bank contract could either be on a SmackDown or a Raw superstar after tomorrow is not a bad idea to me. And the thing is with both of these talents, this could have been good. But the problem is, the big problem is the booking of The Miz. If this was Otis versus 2016 to 2018 Miz, I could probably get more behind that. Because that Miz was a main event player. That Miz actually came across as a great heel. That Miz actually had truth behind what he says on the microphone. That Miz actually makes sense. This Miz makes no sense whatsoever. Watching those Law and Otis segments on SmackDown last night, again, I'm sitting there, I'm just like, Miz has no legitimate argument. There is no truth in anything he's saying. Like, I thought at first he was suing Otis because Otis exposed him as whitey-tighties on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. But then it's like, he's basically suing Otis because he's not doing his job as Mr. Money in the Bank. Well, it's like, Miz, wake up. You've been in this business how long? Otis has a whole year to cash in the Money in the Bank contract. And it's only been, what? June, July, August, September, 5 months. Otis can still cash in before whatever the date was in 2021 from a year before. You know, I don't think Otis has been the worst Money in the Bank briefcase holder, but I still don't think he's been the best one either, because I still feel like, I love Otis. I think he's a great addition to the company. I think, he definitely has organically got himself over as a babyface. I still don't think he's ready yet to be world champion, but I'm not going to, say he's been the worst Mr. Money in the Bank. They've at least tried to do something with him, but they've had some decency, had some strikeouts. But like I said, it's the booking of The Miz. He literally has no case. He has nothing I would take seriously. Again, I said this a couple weeks ago. Recently, I found a video on YouTube of some of The Miz's best promos he's cut in his career. If I can list 3 of them. Of course, the one he cut on Daniel Bryan on Talking Smack. Another one he cut that was one of my favorites. As a babyface, him basically firing back and responding to Shane McMahon for the first time since Shane turned on him. Again, Miz convinced me he can be a babyface. And yet they ruined it because they had him basically, put over Shane McMahon and lose all of his momentum, go over to Raw and be an afterthought, and then, just like that, they turned him heel again, and it made no sense when he turned heel anyways, I'll be honest. And they just made him and Morrison into a complete joke. So again, I can't take him seriously, and that's the biggest reason why this match hurts. Because we know if this was, and another, I said that was 3. Another segment that comes to my mind was that segment on Raw right after SummerSlam in 2017, where he basically spoke so much truth about John Cena and Roman Reigns, he got cheered. He got cheered for, as a heel, being the Intercontinental Champion, for just crapping on all the opportunities John Cena and Roman Reigns gets, the overbooking they get, and he got bumped to the pre-show on that show. Again, I'm just like, I miss that Miz. That Miz made me a fan. Now I hate this Miz. He makes no sense. The fartest known as Shinsuke Nakamura automatically turned me off. That was when I threw in the towel with the Miz. I'm like, you're not cool anymore. I stop. But whatever. So the Money in the Bank contract is on the line. I say just have Otis keep it, because if Miz wins at this point, they're probably going to book him as they booked every recent heel with the Money in the Bank contract, make them look stupid and just lose every match and whatnot. It's just going to be boring as crap. The only other thing I'm surprised that was not on the line is that if Otis wins and gets his comeuppance on the Miz, because it's Miz's fault that Mandy Rose and Tucker both went to Raw, have Otis go to Raw. Why could that be the case where Otis could go to Raw and be with Mandy and be with Otis? And be with Tucker again. For crying out loud, they could use another tag team, even though, once again, it is all SmackDown tag teams basically on Raw right now, with the Viking Raiders out injured. As always, the Hurt Business, cool, and Retribution my ass, people. But yeah, Otis is winning the Money in the Bank contract. Retain the Money in the Bank contract, I think. But when we cash in, I don't know. I still don't know, but I'd rather have it on Otis than The Miz at this point. So before we move on to the next match, because I'm alternating back and forth between Hell in a Cell, non-Hell in a Cell, Hell in a Cell, non-Hell in a Cell, Hell in a Cell, as I had a tough time deciding which match should main event this show. But before we go on to those, let's check the live chat. Shot of Live, which, by the way, I need to tell you guys this. Earlier today, I went to visit my grandparents. My grandmother started laughing, and she sounded like Matt Hardy. Yeah. But she didn't do that. She's like, yeah. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, she sounds like Matt Hardy. It kind of creeped me out a little bit. Anyway, so let's go pick. Let's see what Twitter. What we have to see here. Let me see where we got here. Where were we at? Right here. JR, you did not meet Deanna. Please tell me you did not. If so, I am jealous of you. I told her to give me an autograph since the clocks got set back with the pay-per-view starts at 6 p.m. at the kickoff. Oh, well, I still got my autographs. Anyone has a Twitter and Periscope, please check out our page. He doesn't think Drew Orton will open. Tweet out the live stream, thank you. 2018 Rumble. 2018 Rumble. That happened. My bad. Got a message. I'll have to check that afterwards. 2018 Rumble. That was my bad. Drew and Orton should I'm sorry, Lauren. Drew and Orton shouldn't be main eventing this pay-per-view. I'm sorry. I don't think they should be main eventing. Five-time WWE Champion Booker T. Yes, Clash Champions Orton should have won. If WWE don't give Orton the title tomorrow, and he's done. He's buried. He's not buried. Lauren, he's not buried. He's freaking Hall of Famer. He's not buried. All that. If Orton wins, who's next feud be? Who knows? If Orton would win, who would he feud with? That's a good question. Who would he feud with? I have no idea, to be honest. Yeah, Drew I actually skipped over JR's thing. These are some weird Hell in a Show matches because Bayley's never been in Hell in a Cell. Drew's never been in Hell in a Cell before, but Jay has been, yes, whenever New Day and the Usos had that Hell in a Cell match in 2017, which that was a classic for sure. She'd rather see Drew in front of the audience. Correct, yes. Again, I don't want to see Edge and Orton for the title. Does not have to have the title involved. Well, Edge hasn't been seen since Backlash because he's hurt. Of course, you picked Randy. Wyatt and Orton? Nah, I'm sorry. Not Wyatt and Orton again. Sorry, I don't like that. Didn't like the feud, how it turned out in the end. Edge and Bryan? Yes. Edge is going to help Drew against Orton. Heard the rumors, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, that was stupid for sure. Tyler wants Miz to win the case. People try to cash in the briefcase and they failed attempting the Money in the Bank. They have failed to cash in the past 2 years. Oh, no, not El Gran Gordo, the great fat. No, I don't like that. I'm sorry. Otis may lose his cash in. He probably will anyways, but still. What's up, Elite Squad? Miz isn't going to win. Elias was getting a push. Thoughts on that? I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Elias actually can back up pretty well in the microphone with his music. Orton and McIntyre main eventing again? I still don't think so. I'm sorry. Try this out. 2 wrestling pay-per-views on the same weekend. Impact Wrestling was tonight, Hell in a Cell tomorrow. Yeah, I've heard Deonna Purrazzo lost. I think Rich Swann won the world title in Impact, which congratulations to him for sure. Of course, my favorite time I hear Rich Swann. 1, him dancing, and 2, Pac going, "Shut up, Rich!" in that British accent. I got a message on this app here, but I probably got to check it afterwards because you guys are here to hear what I have to say, so I will gladly wait. Sorry. Let me see here. We got a few more. Imagine Randy Orton versus the Theme, because remember when Randy Orton burned down Sister Abigail's thingy? True. I don't know. Again, that feud just fell apart though after Orton turned, because I still thought Wyatt should have turned face in that. More matches will probably be announced. Heard rumor that Robin Dance coming back. Who's the Robin Dance? What is Bayley Sasha main eventing? Would you get mad? Actually, we'll get to that shortly. The Rock was on Impact. Oh geez. Who did Deonna Purrazzo lose the women's title to? I have no idea, but I just heard she lost. Randy will probably feud with Braun next. Well, maybe, but I think Braun and Keith Lee are going to continue their feud. Anyways, let's continue on to match number 3. So, I went back and forth between the 2 remaining Hell in a Cell matches that should main event this show. I'm still thinking this next match might be the main event because of the higher stakes. I still want to give it to the people I think should be main eventing. So, with that being said, here's my 3rd match I am predicting which if I get my fingers correct. Third match I am predicting to happen at Hell in a Cell. Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Actually, timeout. I need to grab something. Hang on. I need to grab something. 1 second. 1 second. Set it right here. That way nobody sees it till I do so. So, it is Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso for the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell, an I Quit match. If Jey Uso wins, Roman Reigns will no longer be champion. He will not be the tribal chief, and he will not be at the head of the table. If Roman wins, though, Jay's got to be his bitch. And he'll have to acknowledge who Roman Reigns is. The tribal chief. And if not, he's out of the family. His brother, his wife, his kids, all of them will be out of the family. Yes, I literally went because I saw this in my parents' room earlier today because my dad recently went down to visit my sister, and the party they were having, the celebration for my now future brother-in-law getting his winging in the Navy, they were wearing they were kind of doing like aloha and whatnot, so I got this lay, and it just made me think of Roman wearing his at the end of Clash of Champions, so I like, wear this for my Hell in a Cell predictions tonight. So yes, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, of course. Now, obviously, this is a lopsided victory here. Roman's going to win, but this match is still going to be awesome. Again, when they originally started this feud, I thought, okay, just a way to, ease Roman Reigns into his heel character. Well, it's gone even more beyond that. I mean, yes, it's obvious Jay's not going to win this Universal title. But the story, off the charts, has been awesome. Roman Reigns, obviously, is just, again, playing the system, playing his own family. One of the guys he considers his best friends, as he's always said, the Usos, or his cousins, have always been like his best friends. And of course, Roman Reigns is the big Us, who he's being a big Us of a deuce. I don't know if that made any sense at all. But obviously, Roman Reigns is just very protective of him being at the top and being champion, as he believes it's what he needs. As obviously Roman's upset because the moment he had to go away, take some time off, take care of his family during a time like this, they tried to just delete him and just, act like he never existed. Obviously that did not sit good with the tribal chief. And, obviously he played the system to get his cousin Jey Uso a chance to earn opportunity for the Universal Championship. And what happened? Jey won. But of course, when Roman, obviously sees that Jey is serious, he says, I did this to help you. I did this to give you a good payday for the family because I love you, man. But you couldn't just acknowledge me as the tribal chief. He tried to, think that, he could get away with, still remaining on top by having his own family, respect his spot on top and have him lay down for him. Nope, not going to happen, as Roman continued to beat the piss out of Jey Uso at Clash of Champions, lead to Jimmy Uso throwing in the towel for Jey. So now, of course, the reason why this match is happening is because Roman Reigns wants Jey Uso to suffer the consequences or call him the tribal chief, and everything will be just fine. So that's why he's going to put him through hell. The match is not going to end until Roman basically gets Jey to say, I quit, and to acknowledge him as the tribal chief, as he so needs to do. But, so obviously that's what's going to happen. It's going to be another spot-on storytelling match that could be a match of the year candidate, and this is already going to be a feud of the year candidate because of like what the amazing storytelling it's done, the transforming it's done to just make Roman Reigns actually interesting and just so great at being a heel. Okay, he's gonna come out there all shirtless and whatnot, looking tough, talking shit, kill bitch, like he said at Payback, and just like, you know, this again, it's just been just amazing just to watch what Roman Reigns has done for the past 2 months, and I sit here just baffled, just like what took them so long to go this route with Roman. It's just been unreal. But what else? What do you think this is going to lead to? So, obviously, again, Roman's going to win. I see Jey Uso, still accepting, still going to be Roman's bitch for the time being. I think this is going to be the beginning, until Jimmy comes back and gets him at full strength. I think this is going to lead to that full-on eventual heel stable with the bloodline. I think this will be the start to the build, because Roman's going to successfully make Jey say I quit, successfully acknowledge him as the tribal chief, and show that he still loves him. And I think eventually we're going to have, the Usos become full force fledges with Roman Reigns in this stable they've been rumored for a while, and have heel Usos. And I think, once it fully cements through, a feud for WrestleMania, Usos and the Street Profits, could be a good feud for the SmackDown Tag Titles for WrestleMania season. I dig it. It's what I think is what's going to be, the beginning coming out of this match. Is the beginning of the heel bloodline. The Tribal Chief, his boys the Usos, by his side, pretty unstoppable force. I'd say so myself, at least. So yeah, this match could be a main event. This could main event the show, and it could be a match of the year candidate, because the storytelling is going to be off the charts for sure. But I still think there's another match that should main event this show. So yeah, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso. Roman Reigns will be acknowledged as the Tribal Chief. Now, if you excuse me, I will kindly return this back to my parents' bedroom. 1 second, please. Alright, so now that's done. Let's make this next one very quick here. Match number 4. Jeff Hardy and Elias. Elias has recently returned after being out for a few months. Well, for a while, since maybe before Backlash. I can't remember when it was. But Elias had been taken out of action after that whole segment with Jeff Hardy being accused of hitting Elias drunk driving, when it was already established that it was Sheamus. So Elias comes back and immediately goes after Jeff Hardy and turns heel. Okay, I can kind of, be okay with Elias assuming it was Jeff Hardy at first. Obviously, they have a long-term direction. They have the intention of keeping Elias a heel. He even crapped on the crowd in his pretty good concert on Raw last week. But I still think it's just going to be just a very brief thing, Elias thinking that Hardy did it. But again, my thing is the fact that it was already established and that Sheamus did it, and they already overdid the feud with Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. Like, why are we going to want to? Are we going to want to see Elias versus Sheamus? So this is kind of a waste. Like, at first I went back, I'm like, okay, fine, makes a little bit of sense, but the fact that they're having Elias, just crapping on the crowd again when he still put on a concert for them, like, why? Like, I don't know. But yeah, so the fact that it's just going to lead to, we already know what's going to happen. Basically, with probably to a feud with Elias and Sheamus, which even that's not really a pay-per-view worthy feud. So I don't care about this match. It's literally a throwaway match. Jeff Hardy wins. Move on now to the main event. I think this needs to main event the show. Even though, again, I think Roman Reigns and Jey Uso has the higher stakes, this needs to main event Hell in a Cell, I think. We're finally getting a main roster pay-per-view match with Bayley and Sasha Banks. SmackDown Women's Championship inside Hell in a Cell. So obviously, there's still gonna be a series of matches between these two. I think it would be stupid just to end the feud right here. No, this feud's gonna go on for a while, and again, could somehow culminate at WrestleMania. Throw in maybe Bianca Belair or something like that into the mix at some point. Of course, after this feud's over with, Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Ooh, take my money. That's gonna be an awesome feud when it comes to happen. But again, these two obviously, when they've had a chance on Raw, I think they've had matches on Raw mainly. Only one on SmackDown, which was a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't much of a match. When they've had one-on-one matches, they've been good. For just a weekly TV match. But on pay-per-view, these girls know how to kill it. Even though it was in NXT, just go back and watch a match at NXT. Listen to the fact that, they didn't tell anyone what they were going to do. And that's exactly what it is here. I mean, yes, Vince McMahon, probably, wants to get involved and make it however he wants to make it, but somehow these two, I think, are still going to pull off an excellent match. And I'm not going to be shocked at all. Of course, the only thing that worries me was, again, like I said, Hell in a Cell has been tarnished the past 2 years. The worst I could see happening with this match is it ends in a no contest, because these two literally beat the hell out of each other. Which these two are. They are going to beat the hell out of each other. Some people think Sasha Banks is going to jump off the cell. She may. I don't see Bayley doing it. Especially, I don't see Bayley, jumping off Hell in a Cell. But I think these two are somehow going to beat the ever-living shit out of each other inside the cell. They have it coming. Bayley has it coming to her with what she's done to Sasha, even though, once again, I don't like how Sasha's been basically Bayley, I thought we were friends and whatnot, this and that. It's like Sasha Banks has got to admit that, Bayley was right. I would have come after you, if you didn't fire the first shot, but I'd do it out of business. You've just gone all psycho and just, lost completely who you are because, you're too desperate to, you'd be nothing without that women's championship. And my name is much bigger than yours and whatnot. But we might see some crazy stuff in this match. It may end up going outside the cell. I don't know. But if it does, again, don't tarnish it by having these two unable to continue or something like that. I mean, it needs to have a decisive victory. Even though, again, this would be the perfect stipulation for a blow-off match to a feud. But it's the second match since we had a match on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. But I still think it's going to be, with how long the build's been for this and the unpredictability for this match, that's why I think it should main event the show. This is the third women's Hell in a Cell match also. And who's been in all three of them? Sasha Banks. Sasha and Charlotte at Hell in a Cell 2016. Sasha and Becky last year's Hell in a Cell, which was definitely the best one. The first one was alright, but there was a couple little botches in it and whatnot. But just the opportunity it had, I enjoyed it. But also I thought Sasha should have won that. But this definitely was a feud destined for Hell in a Cell. Like I said earlier, Hell in a Cell actually has to be fit for the feud. This feud fits Hell in a Cell. As far as who's going to win, I think third time's a charm. I think Sasha's going to win here. But of course, to continue the storyline going, we're going to continue the whole curse. how Sasha Banks cannot retain the championship in title defenses. I don't know if Sasha and Bayley have another match at Survivor Series, because I don't know what they're going to do with Survivor Series this year. It's going to be Raw versus SmackDown. I hope not. I hope they kind of veer away from that. Again, apparently they were supposed to not do Raw versus SmackDown in 2018 until Roman Reigns got sick with leukemia, and then they changed their mind and did it again. Like, why? Like, what's the difference if Roman Reigns as it or not? You know, I thought that was dumb. But I think Sasha's going to win the championship here. But Bayley's going to win it back not long after. And continue to play on, because again, remember, storyline-wise, a couple weeks before Bayley turned on Sasha, she even mentioned how, like, you know, Sasha's cursed with, you know, losing the championship left and right, you know, in a singles title defense. So they should play in that storyline. And a bunch of other little details. But hopefully, like I said, keep saying, this is the start of, you know, the feud going to a different level. I guess, like I keep saying, they can't. And I also keep continuing to say this. I loved what they did with Sasha making Bayley sign the contract on SmackDown last night. Sasha's being just a badass and doing so. No more of this Bayley, I thought we were friends stuff. Again, Sasha Banks isn't meant to be a white knight babyface. She needs to be a badass, and she has to be honest. Yes, she would have used Bayley. She would have turned on Bayley to get that SmackDown Women's Championship. But it's all about business. Bayley, on the other hand, though, has gone all psycho, just trying to protect herself from being on top. That's why, you know, she made sure, you know, Sasha Banks was, you know, hidden in her shadow. Even though I still feel like Sasha Banks should be the heel because it would have fixed things, it still makes sense for, you know, Sasha, you know, doing it out of business, Bayley being, you know, just crazy. Ding dong. I'm sorry, I still hate when she says that. I'm sorry, I can't stand when Bayley goes, ding dong. It's ridiculous. But yeah. Sasha Banks wins the championship here. And finally wins inside Hell in a Cell. And with that, guys, that's going to do it. 5 matches. My predictions are, again, if they do a pre-show match, I'm going to predict it's going to be the SmackDown Tag Title match with the Street Profits, Rude and Ziggler. Street Profits retain. I think Randy Orton will retain against... Drew McIntyre will retain against Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell of the show. Miz retains the briefcase. Roman retains the championship, and it begins to lead to the Uso heel turn and the heel bloodline. Jeff Hardy beats Elias, and Sasha Banks defeats Bayley in a match of the year candidate Hell in a Cell match. Okay, Roman and Jay, Bayley and Sasha, I think are both potential candidates to either main event this show or be inside Hell in a Cell. So my thoughts, guys. Let's check the live chat and see what we got here. Let me see what we got here. I think we were at... Okay, Deanna lost to Su Yung. She was supposed to face Kylie Ray, for what I heard, but apparently there's something going on with Kylie Ray. The Rock inducted Ken Shamrock into the Hall of Fame. Nice. Eric Young and Rich Swann main evented. It looks like TNQ Power likes a feud with Roman and Jay, so have I. Roman's going to win, enough said. Roman versus Uso is such good shit, yes. Tyler said his mom did not like the main event at Clash of Champions. It's her opinion. Time out. I need to go grab some water. I'll be right back. Go for it. Imagine if there was a twist in this match. Imagine if Sami Zayn, who I think in my head ran over Elias, imagine if he or Sheamus got involved in the match and took out Jeff Hardy or Elias. Sheamus and Jeff Hardy, though, Sheamus and Elias doesn't really excite me too much. Sami Zayn's on SmackDown, but maybe, who knows. Tyler's not trusting the main roster doing this. I have my doubts, but John Laurinaitis be a general manager in SmackDown again. They should be a general manager. Not John Laurinaitis though, but yes, they should bring back general managers. I think Roman Reigns, Mike Spear, Jill show through Hell in a Cell, and then they may have throw Jay off Maybe, who knows? They better not do Survivor Series brand warfare. Please don't. Hope WWE does traditional Survivor Series matches instead of Raw versus SmackDown. Me too. At least Claude wants Raw versus SmackDown. He's fine with Sasha as a heel. Well, face. Again, I am too, but again, just be a badass. Don't be a white knight babyface. Might be Raw and SmackDown again. Otis retains a briefcase. Raw vs. SmackDown sounds much more intriguing than traditional Survivor Series matches with random teams. I mean, as long as it would be an actual story as to why this 5-on-5 Survivor Series match happens. But this Raw vs. SmackDown, like, it's been overdone. Like, if they would have stipulations for them, like, yes, Raw vs. SmackDown would be much more intriguing. But the fact that just bragging rights, I'm just like... And plus, too, just, it's dream match. It's like, but these guys have been around each other enough already. But, again, just my opinion. My pockets are Orton, Bayley, Roman. Or her picks are Orton, Bayley, Roman, Otis, Street Profits, Jeff. Great picks. Everyone have a good night. Sheamus versus Drew sounds exciting. There actually is some history. I mean, I actually wouldn't mind seeing them give, like, Sheamus... If they are going to hold off and not do, well, again, let's put it this way. How about this? Right now, I will say Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles at WrestleMania. I'd say probably before WrestleMania, The Fiend's going to win the title off of Drew. If you want to do Sheamus versus Drew, I'm cool with that. They obviously are good friends in real life, from what we saw in the documentary on W24. So I would be for them actually doing a feud with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. That could be a good match. I do agree with that Elite Squad. They'll be breaking up tag teams is just stupid, for sure. Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan incoming. Could be a one-on-one babyface match for something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah. Wow, almost an hour. I'm surprised I talked this long for a 5-match card, but there was stuff to talk about for each matches, which is good. Not just matches we can say, okay, this is happening, cool, this is happening, blah, 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 right now. I do agree AJ Styles has been having one of his worst runs in WWE. I think he does need to turn face, because his heel run has just not worked for me. Especially with him having a bodyguard. Again, AJ freaking Styles does not need a bodyguard. But it is whatever at this point. But guys, I'm getting a little tired, I'm getting ready to go to bed. That is my Hell in a Cell 2020 preview and predictions. Guys, what are your predictions for Hell in a Cell? Make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBonnie3. Again, I'm going to be actually watching Hell in a Cell at my friend's house, again, who now lives about 40 minutes away from me up north. So, of course, the pay-per-view is probably not going to go that late. So, depending on what time I get back, I may or may not review tomorrow night. We'll see. Of course, I gotta get ready to go back to work on Monday, and oh god, I'm dreading it because of an idiot from yesterday. Anyways, that's gonna do it, guys. I'm checking out. Again, make sure if you didn't get to catch this live, leave your predictions for Hell in a Cell down in the comment section below again. And, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow night, or Monday, for my Hell in a Cell review. So, until then, guys, I'm checking out. Have a great night. Enjoy the show tomorrow night. Peace out, everybody.